Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
The Bengals fall to 0-2 for the third straight season, this time to the Chiefs in a one-score game that was honestly a great game. If you're not a Bengals or Chiefs fan, because you're probably getting pretty stressed out by these contests every year, they are close. They're slugfests. They are filled with a lot of mistakes, I think, from both sides this time, which amplifies the final few drives, final few plays, the critical downs. And that's what we're going to look at in today's episode of Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry. And as we review the film, we're going to focus on third and fourth downs, money downs. These are the downs, these are sections of the games and the game planning where teams spend a lot of time focusing on making sure they have good calls on these downs, offense and defense. And you can tell a lot about the game based on third downs. And we had a couple fourth downs here by each team as well, which ultimately costs the Bengals at the end. We'll talk about that as we get to it. That'll be the last play. If you didn't catch the Jake and Joe post-game show, we gave away a couple pairs of Nike Zoom Pegasus sneakers. And this week, the Monday night game, the Commanders game, you got a chance to win a WWE. This thing is die-cast, heavy. You got a chance to win that for that post-game show after the Monday night game, so it'll be a late one. Make sure you tune into that. And we got a long film review here today. Not as long as last week, but pretty close. Let's look at these money downs and get an idea of what the Bengals' strengths and weaknesses are on both sides of the ball. All right, I got everything loaded up on the Pro NFL. And they made some updates, so I don't think the screen goes black anymore whenever we hit play and pause. So, hey, NFL's moving. But this is the first third down of the game. And we see the Bengals in a passing situation, which they're going to pass out of most of their third downs again. Motion before the snap, which is great. They ran the most motion they did all season. Or I should say, I believe Next Gen Stats said it was the most motion they used in a single Zach Taylor game ever. So even better there. If you're looking here, wondering what's going on, this is the situation throughout the entire game. You're going to see a safety directly over top of Ja'Marr Chase, a safety directly over top of the other side. This is more than likely what you call two-man, which means you're in like a trail technique, especially over here because you have someone over top of Ja'Marr Chase, and then you've got man coverage everywhere else on the field. Okay? Should have said that before, but we're going underneath here. Man coverage, we're running across with Trent Irwin. And normally, if this is a fast player, you normally have much more room than this. This was the first play where I thought, Trent Irwin, just not there. You're getting a switch release here, which means you got Gesicki running this way, and we're going to come out underneath. You have all the space you need if you're a fast guy to run away from this defensive back. We got to be able to run away because even though this ball gets knocked down, like look at the closing speed there. This would have been tight for Trent Irwin to get that first down. Flip it to the end zone angle. Pass protection I thought was good for most of the day, but I want to focus on Nick Bolton here. Nick Bolton being the linebacker. He's spying Joe Burrow, reading his eyes, and just trying to get into the passing lane. This is something we see with TJ Watt all the time. Teams know the Bengals are going to throw quickly. You see the protection here is even as we got, I think that's Leo Chenal coming on the inside there. This play's open. Bolton just does a great job of getting in the passing lane and knocking it down. That leads to a fourth down, which we will get to. We're going to get to all the fourth downs after the third downs. That's just the way the app works. I can't click multiple things. We got Ja'Marr Chase moving in motion pre-snap. Shows you you're getting zone coverage. Tony Romo did a good job of calling that out each time that happened. And I want to show here how many guys. So as we get motion and then an out route from Ja'Marr Chase, right? Ja'Marr's down here. Look at the attention he's receiving. I mean, this guy's running underneath. We're coming down right here all game long. They were just all over Ja'Marr. And this is the first drive, so I understand why Burrow looks that way and goes, oh, it's not there. I mean, 23 really is one that kills this as he comes across and goes underneath. Because if the throw, say Burrow wanted to put it in there, and he's thrown this before and had like a real perfect ball placement type situation. 23 screaming underneath it makes that very dangerous, which is why Burrow pulls it down right away and tries to run and ultimately throws it as he's going to the ground. This is part of like Burrow's pocket presence we talked about from week 1 to week 2, something we're monitoring early in the season that he doesn't completely have it. And sometimes pocket presence is just feeling comfortable standing in the pocket and going to reads 2 and 3 and seeing what else is there, because he clearly looks that way and goes, just it's not open. I'm going to run. And we got our first look at Alex Kappa. And while I said earlier pass protection was good, I thought it was mostly good. This is a really nice rush by that defensive tackle. Look how he opened his hips up like that. I mean, we're trying to teach kids how to do that. Not easy. Good job by 98. It's a really good rush. But if normally Burrow is more robotic in the pocket in a good way, where he's like not open, snap right to it, and go to the next guy. Now this is offense and defense. So here's our first Chiefs third down. First third down for the Chiefs. They're already inside the 10. Let you know how that first drive went for them, where they were just chunk yardage on the ground. Mahomes really didn't have to make too many throws. And again, on this third down, they get a chunk play and get the first down by Isaiah Pacheco in the middle. Watching these defensive tackles, interesting game for them because they're just so much injury and by Sheldon Rankins and BJ Hill, both guys. We don't know the status of them just yet. I thought Sam Hubbard finally made some plays this week, so it'll be something we can watch and see what he did on third downs. But look how Hubbard has to take that, right? Where your eye's still on him. It's nasty. This is, remember Kayvon Thibodeau, the rookie, he took this hit in preseason and he just stood straight up and took it in his knee. You see the way Hubbard goes down and has to take it shoulder to shoulder. It's one of the you got to do the dirty work type plays, and it forces Pacheco to go harder inside. It just so happens that defensive tackles are completely washed out of the play. Look at them; they're over here and over here now. At this point, they're just not holding up ground at all. We get Geno Stone and Logan Wilson making the tackle. All right, back to third down again. The Bengals defense is holding within the 5 here. Bend but don't break scenario for both defenses early in the game. We got a play action shotgun as we had 2 guys. I want to point this out because the Bengals are going to do this as well. You had one guy go this way and then Pacheco go this way. It's what they like to do. They like to have 2 guys going one way while they go backside with the other guys, right? You got a guy sitting down here, hopefully draw some attention, and then the back guy running back of the end zone should be open for him. That's what the Chiefs do a lot. They've got just 2 guys going different ways. This is called lane integrity and not over pursuing in the pocket. So the defensive line here, as much as we want Trey Hendrickson to beat his guy and just go sack Mahomes, you also need to keep him in the pocket if you're doing a good job of covering everyone on the back half, which they do. So as you watch here, it's not Osai anyways. So we got, I said it's not Hendrickson. I'm sorry. It's Osai coming from this side. But you're going to watch the other rushers just try to maintain and keep Mahomes within a pocket once he gets to right here. They don't want him to extend the play. They don't want to over pursue, right? They don't want to rush all the way around. I don't know if they could if they wanted to, or do they have the talent to even do this? I mean, Joe Tooney versus Sheldon Rankins is your best opportunity, and Tooney is one of the best guards in the league, especially in pass protection. But they do what they have to do. Keep them in, now rally, make the tackle. Germaine Pratt and Vaughn Bell, they do that and force a 4th down and a field goal from the first drive for the Chiefs as well. So both teams trade blows and have good defensive calls and good coverage. Now the Bengals are back on the clock here as they hit their back foot on a third down scenario. And once again, what do we have? 2 deep safeties, but man, this safety is just straight up eyes. I mean, this is, people talk about like a number 1 receiver and he doesn't get doubled that much. It doesn't happen, especially like Chiefs fans or Ravens or whatever the opponent is will say, we don't double him that much. Patriots fans were saying this as well. This is what it looks like when you're giving all attention to that guy. You're even taking this linebacker underneath just in case. Like, that is full attention on Ja'Marr Chase. You want to know what the impact Ja'Marr has on this team without even catching the ball? It's this. And so what do the Bengals have on the outside? I believe this is Jermaine Burton running vertical. That should have been an arrow, excuse me. Jermaine Burton running vertical. And then you have Yoshi or Irwin. It's got to be Yoshi running an out route here. Now, the pocket is still good, right? You would say at this point, we're good on the pocket. And that ball needs to probably come out there. Right as Burrow steps up, I mean, look at, they are mauling Chase. They're contact on him. This should be illegal contact, should it not? They are absolutely mauling this guy. And then as Yoshi runs his out route here, what I was thinking is, I didn't know this was a zone on this side, but this corner, this boundary corner is now jumping on this route. And this safety, I think that's Cook, has to get over top of Burton running downfield. To be honest with you, if this is T. Higgins, I think Burrow just throws it up to Higgins and lets Higgins moss a safety. For whatever reason, the comfort isn't there with Burton. We will get a play later. Obviously, we know that in the game that wasn't on third down, I don't believe. But these are the plays. This ball should be hit the back foot, launch it up to Burton. If that's what they're going to give you on third down, that is better than trying to run and scramble and run through a bunch of players with a QB spy on a defensive line that's also trying to keep you in the pocket. They're doing the same things that we're trying to do to Mahomes. They're trying to contain their rushes, especially now that the Bengals' O-line is a little bit better. As you see here, they all get to this spot. They're all stoned, right? And their eyes. Where's the quarterback? Eyes. Those aren't supposed to be circles. Why is my app not working with me? But their eyes. Can you see how they're all kind of looking? I mean, this is great pass protection. And Burrow's looking. I mean, we need to know at this point, this is a great pocket. Burton streaking downfield. We're doubling Chris Jones over here. Burton streaking downfield. This is the throw. We want him to hit this. We want the aggressive Burrow back. Instead of that, right? We don't need, and I understand the middle of the field is open because of the attention they're paying to the outside receivers. We didn't have any routes to the middle of the field. So Burrow's thinking, I can run on this. He has before. I get it. Back foot again. Look at the attention on Jamar Chase. People don't think this is real. It is real. They are doubling Chase as much as possible. And now that Gesicki has had a few plays, he's getting the other attention. So we've got Burton on this side, and I think Yoshi on this side. And I believe this is the touchdown. Yes. So you need those guys, those supplemental players that aren't right now. Your number 1 and 2 are Chase and Gesicki. You need Burton. You need Yoshi to win. I think Yoshi definitely does here. Stems it up really well. That cut to come back is evident of a good athlete, good ball skills, good catch, toes tapping. This is a fantastic grab and route by Andrei Iosivas. Watch the pocket again here. Only one might be Volson, allowing a little bit of pressure, but not enough to affect the play. It's a great catch by Yoshi. We need him to do more between the 20s, but inside the red zone, Yoshi is a savant at this point. I think you could say that. 20 catches in his career, 6 touchdowns. This is Mahomes running for a first down on third. Trey Hendrickson wins, flushes them. You want to see what the Bengals coverage is. They are also sending everyone deep. I mean, that is ridiculously deep for a third down where the first down marker is right here. That's pretty ridiculous to be playing as deep as they did. You wonder why Mahomes only had 150 yards rushing or 150 yards passing. Excuse me. This is why. They were not letting him beat them over the top. And he's already flushed out of the pocket by the time. I would like some better awareness by our defensive backs. I'm going to highlight this real fast. Are there any routes on this side of the field? Are there any Chiefs players on this side of the field? And this guy's running this way. This guy's running this way. If anything, this would be the guy to cut back. And we really don't see it. You see Mahomes, why are we still drifting backwards here? Why are we drifting backwards? Why are we going this way? Why can't we attack? Why aren't we fast enough to get to Mahomes before we get here? Should we not be? Who's that? That's Daijahn Anthony. So again, we're in a situation, we're going to talk about Daijahn Anthony quite a few times, but here, this is you, Anthony. Go up, make a play on Mahomes. Why are you drifting back? Because Mahomes' eyes, the way he looks like he's going to throw the ball, got the rookie to take a couple false steps there. But again, Battle's out there too, just in case if you're wondering. People have wondered what's happened with Jordan Battle. Why don't we not see him more? See this. Even if he's going to throw that way, that you don't need to drop back into coverage or stop. Oh, that's what makes Mahomes so good to get that first down. We need to be a little bit more aggressive with those guys. All right, Bengals got the ball back again. We're inside the 20, and this is their first third down of this drive. And Burrow runs and takes off right away and takes a sack here. Too many sacks, too many pressures on third downs again. But is it all the O-line, or are we looking at different route combos and wondering what's going on here? We've got two deep safeties again. This has got to be Chase down here, I'm assuming. I'd like to go back and be sure before I talk too far on it. Let's see. Yes, that's Chase down at the bottom. Okay. The only thing you really have here, and he clearly doesn't feel good about this pocket. I don't think they're expecting cover two. Maybe you could hit it in that window. Maybe this guy can split the safeties and get open. They're all developing. They're all taking way too long. We're trying to get this play down here to the 2-yard line. It's not happening. Let's watch protection. This is one of the rare times, and we've talked about play calling a lot, and we will. This is one of the rare times where we look at the play calling and say, yeah, it's not good enough. It's also one of the rare times so far this season where we said protection's not good enough. We got to squeeze Chris Jones a little bit better than that. I mean, he's splitting two guys. Was Trent Brown bad here? He gives up initial pressure. Yeah, I mean, if Burrow doesn't step up, who knows how that play goes, but Brown looked like he was holding on for dear life there. I thought Orlando Brown has been really good so far through 2 games. Yoshi in motion and coming across. And you finally get one-on-one with Jamar Chase here. Now this is a short situation, but Jamar's over here. Looks like he's running vertically. The safety could be going. Maybe I'm too early to say it's one-on-one because Burrow's already thrown the ball. Maybe the safeties have already started to react. But this is the play where Irwin gets the pick. Gesicki's supposed to be coming underneath on a screen, and it's I guess sort of a screen. It's a pick play. And Irwin gets called for offensive pass interference, which is very legitimate here. You can't seek out the defensive back like that and hit him, make contact. So, all right, Bengals again, wide open here. What I like about this and what they did a bunch in this game, which really makes me happy, is these are called more tight formations. Instead of having a receiver out here and a receiver out here, you bring them in and tighter to the offensive line to more tight end spots. And what you do is you end up getting a DB backed off of these guys, especially when they're stacked on top of each other like this. They're not so much stacked here, but having 2 guys like this is helpful, especially when they're trying to show blitz here, and then this guy's going to have to peel out and get back into coverage. So watch how these 2 receivers at the top of the screen, you're basically using, this is a great job to how to pick and make the defender go over the top on him. And very quickly, we're turning, we're throwing, we're connecting with Gesicki, who does a good job here fighting for everything he can. Now, again, that's 3rd down and 10, and they're forcing you to take a quick, easy underneath throw. But I do like the concept and something they are going to be able to use and have used much more this year of getting their receivers bunched more, tighter splits, and stacked a little bit more. I thought Gesicki did well after the catch, surprisingly, because he's never really been good at that. He's a good athlete, but stiff breeze can take him down. All right, 3rd down scenario here again. It looks like we're rotating Geno Stone to the middle of the field with a cover 3 scenario where both of these guys are going deep. And then we got underneath coverages here, here, and here. And then we're hoping Trey Hendrickson wins again. So we're spilling him out. There's Mahomes doing what he does. This is third and a long situation. Watch Mahomes' eyes again. Hubbard in at defensive tackle, for those of you that asked for that. There were some, and we'll probably get these plays. Mahomes with a little pump again. I did a whole episode last year on when the this is not a hold. So when you go with the rip move, it's in the playbook, it's in the rule book. When you go with the rip move, and let's make sure he did actually before we even talk about it, because I guess that would be so. Watch Hendrickson. Yes. So as he lifts, it doesn't even really complete it. He's like trying to draw the flag here. Lifting this left arm like that is going to make it look like a hold. But the idea is if you use a rip move to get yourself in a position where that arm is wrapped around your neck, that's on the defensive lineman. It's not on the offensive lineman. They consider that is like you have to, your job is to knock down the offensive line's hands, right? As a defender, as a defensive lineman, you can't just run through his arm and expect him to let go of you because you gain positioning. And here you have to, you hear Willie Anderson will talk about this too at times. You have to actually beat the tackle past his knees, past his hips, past his feet. You need to have a clear path to the quarterback. If he is still between you and the quarterback in any way, they're not going to call this. And clearly you would say 76 is still within the path between he and the quarterback, and they don't call that. So we'll see. Hopefully it's on a third down later where we do get that penalty. Hopefully we can see the slight difference in a call, a flag or no flag. Although refereeing is inconsistent. We have a third down, wildcat, direct snap to Isaiah Pacheco. Bengals defense does a good job getting ready. We got Zach Carter and Sheldon Rankins and Joseph Osai out there. First one I looked at here is Germaine Pratt taking this shot by this, I believe it's the left tackle. And then Logan Wilson scraping over the top. You see him coming and filling that direct hole, standing right in front of him. Finish the play. Drive. But Logan Wilson had another very good game. 2 good games in a row. It's only 2 games, but he might be having his best season so far, which would be nice because I thought they had down years. Both he and Pratt last year, both guys have made plays so far through 2 weeks. All right, Bengals back with the ball here, and we have a clear situation this time where we've got the pass rush winning. Clear situation. Burrow's running for his life again, and he gets this one. I remember this play now. I want to see what's happening with the routes then as we got Jamar Chase down here, and he's going to get doubled again. This is not fun to watch the film when it's the same thing every single time. I'm sure this is part of his frustration as well later in the game, amongst the other frustrations that we've talked about all summer with Chase. When you don't get a chance to actually make the plays and you're only just drawing coverage, it can get frustrating. So there's the other pressure there. I think actually Volson getting beat here spooks Burrow more. You don't see the tackles as much as the quarterback. They're in your peripherals, but the 3 guys right in front of you, and it's why interior pressure affects you a little bit more. When you see that right away, it makes you want to run out of there and get out of the pocket. It's why you need good guard play. It's why the Chiefs probably prioritize left guard, center, right guard, and pay those guys as much as they do. All right, third down again inside the 5. We got a lot of these in this game. And we're going with quarterback sneak. He gets it, gets his helmet ripped off. Burrow had quite a few quarterback sneaks. It's wide open there, too. Leo Chenaldo, shadow team. Shout out shadow team linebacker on Team Goodberry. Bang. Hard hit. Okay. Same scenario. We're still down there. Third down now. And Burrow drops back. And look at him move in the pocket. We got everyone just basically hooking up here. Let me draw it. I mean, there's not much going on. Maybe Zach Moss can leak out. Burrow just making guys miss in the pocket and trying to hit Trent Irwin. Doesn't happen. I want to watch the protection here. That's probably the biggest thing when you don't get guys open. How's the protection look? We saw a chokehold takedown here, and I wonder if it was a similar situation to what we were seeing with Hendrickson. So again, you are getting between the quarterback and the rusher. So I think that's probably why they don't call this. Yeah, he didn't have his arm around his neck. It looked from the side, I wondered. All right, so now eyes are getting back up. We've got two options here. Gesicki going across the back, Irwin going across the middle. Oh, that's right through Irwin's hands. I don't know if we got a good replay on that. I might have looked down during the game, but that looks like it goes through Irwin's hands. Which we had the other one too on the right sideline in the end zone that I thought Irwin should have caught. Only one single high safety this time. Let me clear that. One single high safety this time. On third down, the Bengals bring 1, 2, 3. I think that's a fourth guy in there, and 5, which they typically do not do against Mahomes. And they get to him and hit him. And man, do we have a nice play by DJ Turner getting his head around and getting this interception. But wait. No, that's not him. This is Daijahn Anthony right here against Travis Kelce. You saw the replay. I thought that was weak. The weakest call of the day. There was some other ones that were, I'm typically not blame the ref kind of guy, but this one is just it's because it's Kelce versus a rookie, maybe. Good job for DJ Turner on the evaluation perspective of things. And you may have seen that right away. Turner's out there for Hilton in those scenarios. So good adjustment by Lou Anarumo and the squad. And we got to win again by Chris Jones on third down. I mean, can we block Chris Jones on third down, or is he just going to kill Cordell Wilson for the rest of our lives? Deep safeties again at the snap. Ja'Marr Chase over here. So let's watch that attention to go to Ja'Marr Chase on third down. Actually, not this time. But, they're all over it. Best thing you probably could have done, and there's nobody open. That's why he takes off so bad. Best thing you could have done is probably check it down over here if you had time to Zach Moss, because it's middle of the field open. That guy's not open, or check it down. And this is the sack. So this is the sack. This is probably the biggest play of the game for the offense. And Volson gets absolutely killed on this. Where would Burrow would have where would he have thrown this in this scenario? Remember, this is third and what was that, 8? I can't see the marker. It's so bright over there. They do a good job covering everything. It would have just been a check down. But a check down's better than a fumble return for a touchdown. Damn. All right, we got Chris Jones here. I'm upset. If you're wondering why I'm upset on that one, it's because no one was open. I wanted to see this play. I haven't seen this one yet, so this is my first time viewing this pivotal fumble return for a touchdown. I mean, come on. We've got to be able to stop him better than that. If anything, you've got help to the side, right? Let's think about that. If you're Volson, I don't need to overset this way. If I'm Volson, I need to stay more in the middle. Stay more to the inside here, because Sample could always pick it up and help you out if need, just like over here. And these guys are typically helping the tackles. But God, man, we got to be able to block a little bit better than that. Money downs. They're going to put Chris Jones over the guy they think they can beat. whether that's Akeem Adeniji in past years or Isaiah Prince. All right, third down. And again, we're getting pressure on the quarterback in third down if this is the right play, if this is what I'm thinking of. Game's on the line here. Bengals got the ball in Ken drive. Oh, no, this is before that. Gesicki, third and extremely long. This is the play after Jamar's penalty, his freak out. Just a quick get it out and maybe make this a long field goal, which they do. This drive could have resulted in a touchdown. Obviously doesn't, because it should have been 3rd and 7 after the Jamar Chase completion where he gets a little vulgar with the ref. Allegedly. All right, Chiefs third down. Osai gets a nice little initial push. We get a holding. And Kelsey running down the field and trying to make a play. But this is a holding on the left tackle. Trey Hendrickson, absolutely dominant, taking the game over. I don't know why I got these 10-second bars over here now. See, but this time, see why it's different? Here's why it's different this time, because Mahomes is much further back in the pocket. So now Hendrickson has a clear path to the quarterback if you're not holding him. Because we've got some pressure from this side, because we spooked Mahomes a little bit with other pressure. So you're going to get this call more often if some of these other guys could do a little something. So that chaos on the right side just helps. Daijahn misses the tackle there. Dax tries to punch it out. I don't want to kill the rookie 7th rounder. He's out there doing his best. He earned a role in the summer, but every time we've said Daijahn Anthony's name, it has not been good. Okay. 3rd and a mile here. We get a screen, little bubble screen quick to Rashee Rice and Logan Wilson again with a monster tackle here. I mean, there's a lot of power and pop coming out of this contact. Zach Carter is the D tackle. A little pushing and shoving after that. All right, Bengals. I believe this might be the last drive now. Burrow hits the back foot to Gesicki, who dives and reaches that ball out there. Really nice job by him. It's just they've run this a lot where just basically it's a cover 2 beater. You got a guy going in the flats and a guy running the corner on that side of the field in an effort to put that boundary corner in a bind. This time it's a safety on Gesicki. Looks like they're playing man. And he does a good job. He had a bad drop that probably changes the game. Same as week 1. But overall, Gesicki had a nice outing. Okay, what do we got here? It looked like they were showing everyone up, and then they're backing out. We need to let this run a couple times, I think. This is interesting. Yikes. I don't know what Burrow's looking at here, actually. I mean, you got a hot situation because how many rushers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you have Irwin sitting down here, Yoshi going deep, and it looks like Gesicki coming across to this area. And you're looking at it. I'm going to have to see his eyes on the other angle. I mean, that should go to Irwin easy. That linebacker's got to come all the way across from mugging the A-gap. This linebacker's going to show blitz, and he probably just didn't know he dropped out. But he's going to drop back and go and get Irwin. You are not fast enough to go do that on this play. Bang, ball out now. And you pick up this first down. Instead, we get sacked. 2 weeks in a row, we're in critical third down situations, and we're not seeing it clearly. This is why when Burrow's going to get, when we get to weeks 3, 4, 5, 6, when he's at full processing power, yeah, I mean, he's looking that way, isn't he? Oh, we can't let these guys have such easy pressure. Drew Sample, you're in there because you're in there for pass protection. Lock that guy up. Give Burrow the strength to feel comfortable in the pocket. But we need a clean, quick read, and that ball needs to come out to Trenton Irwin. And now the Chiefs get their final chance to make a play. Too many sacks, too much pressure on the quarterback on third downs. It's all just coming on third downs. Screen here, almost picked off. I mean, this could have been a huge play. Oh, your hand is in there. Screen to P. Ryan. Who was that? What number was that? Was that Osai or was that Carter? Let's see it from this angle. Carter's at D tackle. Osai's at that side. Hubbard's there too. Oh, it's Osai. Osai, you almost redeemed yourself. Oh, the hand is between P. Ryan's hands. Dang. Oh. And then a third down to set up the field goal, which if you could hit them and stop them for no gain, maybe this is harder for Harrison Butker to hit. I mean, everyone does their job. Dax makes the tackle. And that's that. Field goal's made. Let's watch the fourth downs real quick. Couple of fourth downs for each team. This kept the Bengals' opening drive alive. I think both teams went 2 for 2 on fourth downs, which is interesting. Look at all the attention Chase gets as they put him in a stack situation. So he was directly behind Yoshi. And as he comes up, I mean, you just get two guys directly on him. The pocket looks good at this point. And I believe we got one guy going out this way and then Gesicki coming this way across the middle of the field on a stacked release again. So, yes, it is stacked again, which gets a defender to come off that far. And it gives Gesicki a nice clean release. And, oh, man, remember we talked about this with Yoshi last week? If you watched the film review, whenever you're coming across the field like this, if you get to this point and you stem it once and then keep it coming, you're going to get that defender off you because that defender is playing catch up. If you guys remember the play I'm talking about, watch Gesicki here. Watch this route. It made that defender fall. That one little boom, boom was everything he needed to get open on that play. Great route running, Mike Gesicki on fourth down. See if we can see it again from this angle. Watch the protection, of course. It looked really good here. Here comes Gesicki. He just did it. I think it was too late. Yep. Woo! That was a tight throw, huh? Man. Good route by the lanky number 88. Next one is the Chiefs' fourth down to start the game, their first drive. And this is going to be the Carson steal. We get a action coming this way, a trip by Mahomes, steal up the middle, just grinds for that first down. It was fourth and short, very short. So they give it to their fullback, their rookie fullback. Every team's using a fullback other than the Bengals, although Eric All did do a ton of that. That'd be worth a film review right there. Oh, was that Rankins? Yeah, Rankins split between the two guys and almost got in there. You just need one other guy. And for the Chiefs, getting a similar situation. Fourth and short, going to give it to their fullback. Everyone fighting at the line of scrimmage. Got to make him. He keeps turning. Someone else has to win cleanly there. It's hard to make a tackle while getting blocked. So you'll see here from this angle, we need some cleaner wins, whether that was Rankins on the last one at the line of scrimmage or Logan Wilson here. Splitting between two guys. You see Logan Wilson and Akeem Davis-Gaither both hitting the inside gap while no one's really on this outside gap here where the field goal post is kind of covering us up, and allows Steele to stay on his feet and rumble and stumble and get that first down. And then the Bengals' fourth down touchdown pass to Andrei Iosivas. He is down here. And this is tremendous pass protection. Well, we talked about the lack of protection on third downs. Both fourth downs, really good pass protection. Good route by Yoshi. Let's watch it from the end zone angle. Watch Burrow. I want to really point out Eric All over here, blocking George Karlaftis with a little help from Zach Moss. And look at this pocket. I mean, they're just standing up. They're out of it. They're getting doubled. They're just standing up. And then isolated right here. Orlando Brown Jr. earning his money. Nice route by Yoshi. Touchdown. And then finally, we get the 4th and 16 play. We're going to end it on this. Just, of course, we are. To note, Zach Carter's out here. Joseph Osai's out here. No Sam Hubbard. DJ Turner is the slot corner. No Mike Hilton. Daijahn Anthony is the third safety, not Jordan Battle. Just want to talk about the personnel for a second there because it is something to discuss. And then rushing three. A lot of people having a problem with rushing three. Remember, a lot of the Bengals' best plays against Pat Mahomes in their history has been because they rush three and drop everyone into coverage. And we've got a chance here for Hendrickson to win this. But when you leave your area, you're allowing Mahomes to extend the pocket and string this out a little bit more. And then you get to this point here where Germaine Pratt jumps up on Samaje Perine. That leaves Daijahn Anthony. He's got to cover 10 plus, maybe 15 total yards here to get to this catch point. It's a nice play by Mahomes. Good job seeing and anticipating this. Anthony is now at the catch point before the receiver. This is where I have an issue with the play call. You have every right to go up and make a play on this ball. You're there before him. What you're going to see is Rashee Rice drift back into Daijahn Anthony. So let's watch that. Watch him drift back into him. I mean, is he not allowed to go up for the ball? They're like, yeah, but he hit him first because the receiver backed into him and jumped into him. Our guy is playing the ball, and that it can't be disputed. I've seen some Chiefs fans. He's not playing the ball because they hit him in the face. Their contact makes crazy things happen when guys start hitting each other. Yes, he's playing the ball. He's going up, straight up for the ball. He's not going for a hit. He's not decleating him. He's not going for his knees. Like, is this not bang bang? Is this not bang bang? Is this not a jump ball scenario where both guys have equal opportunity for the ball? Yes, contact is going to happen. If the receiver made this contact and that was a DB, would they call a penalty? No. If the receiver went up and the DB bounced off of him, would they call that a penalty? Now, going through the back of a player, just like in basketball, over the back, it's a lot tougher on that receiver. So I do get that if they saw that and thought that. But to think that he's not going for the ball, that he doesn't have the right to go up for that ball, and that he's not at the catch point before Rashee Rice is insane to me. And I'm not sure this always gets called. That's my take on it. Is it a penalty? Does he hit him early? Yes. Is it always called? No, it's not. Watch football. It's not always called. So not good enough on offense, I think, in a lot of ways. Sure, they had a couple fourth down, third down, red zone touchdowns, but they also settled for field goals, which I think shouldn't have happened. They had the Jamar Chase penalty on another. At the end there, a lot of pressure, a lot of Burrow getting sped up or getting hit in the pocket, and then ultimately the fumble on third down that's probably the biggest single moment in the game. Two good calls by Spagnuolo for the Chiefs to get Burrow uncomfortable, to give them things they weren't ready for, to give them looks that kind of sped them up a little bit and didn't have hots for them, especially on the last one. Yeah, too many mistakes, I think, is the theme for this game. We're going to point to refs and complain about it because that's what fans do. But you had plenty of opportunities to win this on the field and control it yourself. And the Bengals were unable to do that. It's tough to look at too many positives when you're 0-2. But looking right around the corner and seeing the Commanders and the Panthers, and you think they can get back into this, right? You got the Giants as well. They should be able to get back in. They should bounce back. We shouldn't have to dig out of a hole every single year. But I also thought, if they would have won that Patriots game the way we thought and then go toe-to-toe with the Chiefs and end up losing like this, I don't think anyone would be upset. We would just go, We're going to see this team again. It's going to be a slugfest again. It's going to be a dogfight again. It's going to come down to one score again. But this time, you can't lose your composure, and you need to make these plays when they're available to you. And you know what we need? We need the offense to close out and win one of these games against the Chiefs at the end. And I think that's my biggest takeaway is the defense played really well. They had a couple of mistakes. There's a couple of players where probably shouldn't be on the field. There's a couple depth issues that keep rearing their head. They can't get enough pass rush out of anyone other than Hendrickson. They can't defend the run from the defensive tackle spot. And then you're getting 7th-round rookies out there for specific roles, and it's costing your team. These things need to be addressed, or, whether that's make a trade, make a signing, or develop the guys you have, which doesn't seem as likely of an outcome or a positive outcome. We can't just keep throwing snaps at Zach Carter, but the defense played good, so I don't want to kill them too much. I'm still mostly focusing on the offense and saying we need Higgins back. We need maybe Amarius Mims getting into that lineup. I need to see Chase Brown more often. I love what Eric All has done through 2 weeks. We need to find a way to get to the ball to Jamar Chase, even in situations where he is completely doubled, because that's not going to change. He's that kind of guy. And then Burrow's going to get cleaned up and get better. He's gotten better from week 1 to week 2 against a much tougher defense. I expect he's right around the corner from being the Burrow we know and the Burrow we need to go as far as we want this team to go. This has been Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. This is episode 117, and I'm Joe Goodberry. Until next time, Hooday.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.